worker out there. It is not saying that any other day we don't celebrate the employees or the employers, because everyone is, if at all you're doing any economic activity, then you are supposed to be celebrating this day. It is a day for you to take a look back and see what is coming in from there in regards to the International Labor Day. Because when we look at the Labor Day, situations like most of the employees that we do have in Uganda here are also part of the Labor Day. And if you're to look at the situations here for the World Day for Safety and Health at Work, will be this particular Labor Day of 2022, where we shall literally be looking at safety and health at work. Well, and speaking of safety and health at work, we're going to be looking at how this entire week we shall be looking at generalizing how do people keep safe and healthy at work. It is very vital for a business person, or very, very important for a business owner, to always create an atmosphere which is safe, not only for him, his employees, but also for the clients that are coming on board. Because you as a client, you would want to go into an environment which is safe for you, and it being safe, it should as well be healthy, very healthy, because health will definitely give you room to continue moving in that particular regard. So we need to create health and a safety measure for people who are working in that environment. And speaking of health, health goes back to health competitions that are there. Health may not necessarily mean you are supposed to be unsick, or would say you're supposed to be well all the time, but you can be healthy by practicing health manners, let's say health behavior. The way you treat people can as well be regarded to as a healthy situation. And then safety. Speaking of safety, this may not be literally speaking of maybe only security matters, but imagine where you're working from. Aren't you endangering people in any way? If someone comes in and let's say if I come with my car, do you have that parking at your place? Won't my products get lost if at all I'm coming? Won't I encounter thieves on the long way? So a lot of things that are going to be discussed with the International Labor Day this very Sunday. So this entire week is clearly to try to look at the theme, building on board, to see what should employers do, what should employees do, and what are those do's and don'ts exactly. The don'ts are quite many, but the don'ts are what teach us on how to become better each day and each other time. Well, before we even go into the business reports, or our very fast business report of the day, I don't know about how you are doing this morning, but clearly every other morning teach yourself to learn something, because every new day is clearly giving you an opportunity to embrace yourself, and giving you an opportunity to keep on challenging yourself. The narrative of challenges is that you are given an opportunity to challenge yourself regardless of the competition that is there. If you feel comfortable in a situation, then you will never become better at any other day. So every other day, if you got the opportunity to change life or to change something about your business, please do. If you got the opportunity to learn something about your business, please, 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 you can as well go on board, get onto point, and try to build onto the strategies that come about. Because we are looking at situations like, for example, if I am operating, let's say, a confectionery business, any other day that passes by, I'm going to have the same customers on a daily, because you will understand confectionery in terms of the bakery side is you're looking at people who want to eat these snacks. And these are daily customers. Either you're a bakery and these are daily customers. If at all the customer comes today, you do expect them to come maybe 3 times a week. So at the end of the day, you need to learn them. You need to get to understand if this customer comes today, then there's one who comes today. Or then you'll have to understand that on Monday, I get this number of customers. Tuesday, I don't get this. Then you have to decrease your level of production so as not to make any losses whatsoever. That is the essence of learning something new every other day, because challenges are always there to strengthen us. Someone says something that doesn't break, something that breaks you makes you stronger. And even if something doesn't break you, but it will still make you stronger. So either way, if you're broken or if at all you're not broken, at the end of the day, you have to get stronger each other day that passes by. Don't wait for something to come and put you down and get the going. Well, we are dedicated to kickstarting off your morning. You would definitely want your morning to be a chilly, cool one, and definitely driving your business is what we do best. We're entirely entitled, you as a viewer, are entirely entitled to making sure that you receive information. It's very vital. Very, very important for your growth as a person. The business community literally has got a number of opportunities that arise. We've seen a number of people that change in situations where people are now adopting. The good thing about life currently is that now people are getting back to the normal of operating business late in the night, and that is where we want to draw our situation. Well, away from that, let's get into more discussions, and we started off with the SMB reports. Here's the deal. To give you just a brief background of this particular report, Capital Markets Authority has been ongoing, has actually been setting up trainings with various universities or institutions of higher learning to teach students on the available capital markets, on what it means, or the importance of investing your money into a company, into securities, into bonds, or at least buying shares for creating a better tomorrow. When you invest in some of the things, you get the opportunity for your money that you've saved for investment to grow bigger. Just imagine if I told you you're saving with a bank currently and you've saved 1 million. At the end of the month, you may not receive the exact 1 million. Why? The bank charges. You will have to withdraw a fee and then leave some onto the account. But with saving for investment, the better thing is if they are performing well, things like let's say you're buying the bonds and all the securities and all that, is that at the end of it all, if you saved 1 million today, you may make 5 million next year. That is the importance, and that is why Capital Markets is going on through to different universities, different institutions of higher learning to help these students understand the picture of capital markets in Uganda. Well, let's get right into this one. The students from the Faculty of Business Administration and Management at Ndege University were skilled up by practitioners from the Capital Markets Authority in regards to investments, shares, debit securities and stock exchange. This happened yesterday. Let's have the details of this one as we get back.
Capital markets provide an arena in which investors look to invest, save funds in return for compensation, whereby they funnel their capital towards people and businesses who need the capital in order to expand. And this is the crux of how a capitalist and a market-based economy grows. Having come down from a lockdown that has been completely unprecedented, the economy is still trying to pick up with inflation pressures that are still too high. The Dean of Faculty of Business Administration and Management, Dr. Mili, noted that most Ugandans are ignorant about investments, yet it's one of the ways of securing money without losing its value.
We are ready with information, the practical information from practitioners in the Capital Markets Authority. What Capital Markets Authority is doing is to educate the public about the investment opportunities, the securities market, the primary and the secondary markets, how we can invest, the unity trust for both lecturers, the staff, administrative staff, and to our students. And after getting this information, we expect also our students and even the staff go out there and you preach the gospel of investment. You know, in Uganda, the investment rate is too low, and most of us, we are not even aware that we are supposed to invest. Remember, most of us, what we are doing is working today. You consume everything that you have worked for, so it is only work consumption. And we are talking of savings. Now after savings, what next? Now the investment. So we need to take investing in the securities market. You know, it is a sure risk-free. This is government.
Martin Owini, a practitioner in retirement benefits and an investment advisor from Capital Markets Authority, said that shares aren't the only thing sold at capital markets, but stocks and debt securities. Shares from familiar companies like MTN, Smb Bank and Uganda Clays are being sold on the stock exchange.
Markets, therefore, what happens there? Number one, remember what I told you. Money leaves your pocket and goes to the company to do what? To purchase a unit of capital. Now, another name for money is capital. Now, if money is leaving your pocket and it's going to the capital markets to buy shares in MTN, you are actually giving MTN money. They didn't have that money. You have given it to MTN, okay? Now, if I've given MTN money, what is therefore happening at the capital markets? It's the market where companies go to raise capital. Are we together? It's the market where companies go to raise capital. How do they raise capital? They sell shares, okay? Are shares the only thing sold at the capital markets? No. There are other products, and I'm going to take you into some of those products. But these are some of the shares that are there on the capital markets. And names that you know: MTN, Stanbic Bank, Uganda Clays, BAT, New Vision, Umeme. All of these are actually at the capital markets. Why would I want a share? Buy at a low price, sell at a high price. Number two, when you're dividing your profit, give me some of your profit. Therefore, you as a student, what is your task? Your task is to identify, if I had 20K, where would I put it? In which share would I put it? Okay? And why would I put it there? One thing with shares is the price goes up and the price goes down.
Kakande Joseph, a third-year student of procurement and logistics, said the workshop gave him clarity on issues concerning stocks, shares, and treasury bills. Rona Nahabwe, Smart 24 TV.
Today I paid so much attention to real know and get deep. Good enough the facilitators that have facilitated us today have tried to explain a lot and go deep into details. They have taught us how you can get shares through the stock brokers. We've gotten to know different stock brokers. They are even opening accounts today, both online and offline. But my major concern, because during the facilitation I asked a question. I was like, how much do you need to start? For how long? When do you expect to get returns from this, gain from it? You know, because they were trying to explain to us how you can let your money work for you, because you put it there. Especially my interest was in unit trust and treasury bills, because according to the facilitator, he said treasury bills have a less risk since they are directly connected with the government, and you get a confirmed interest after a given period of time.
All right, now when you get into situations like that, later on in the show, she'll be giving you some feedback from some of the other students that took part in some of these trainings, but the other ones of last week. This happened at Ndeje University, and looking at the situation here is that the value of capital markets and understanding them, the context. I do love one thing about one of the students in there who said all the time, all his life, he's been hearing stories and details to do with the capital markets, investing in bonds and all those things, hearing them in words and getting them on paper, not having the actual fact or having the actual point of situation. And in most cases, we're running or we are ranting through drawing closer and closer. When you look at the picture here, is literally you getting to understand the available markets is first of all very important and very vital. Why? Because you cannot invest in something you don't know, and even when you know, you need to get deeper understanding. You need to get deeper knowledge of what you're going to trade with, or what you're going to, you're going to venture into. It's just like a case study for a business person who's doing a business plan, who's actually having a business plan. You need to study your business. You need to study the type of business. You need to study the nature of that business before you actually go in for it, because anything can happen in the business world, and you always need to get ready. So these students students are being equipped normally to get to understand. Normally, they're actually equipping more of the students in the Faculty of Business and those dealing in business administration, management, and all that, all those in business studies, because they will need this, and they will always have to give more clarity to their clients and also give knowledge to their clients once they are into the job market or they're into the working space, because this is where the entire world is now heading to. The narrative is now no longer about saving, just dry saving, or the usual saving that we've been used to, or saving, opening up a savings account and you leave the money there, putting it in a pool or putting it in a bank and saving it there. But this time around, it is saving for investment, getting your money, putting into something productive, putting your money into something that is going to see that money grow. Imagine having 5,000 and saving it, but your money starts growing. The 5,000 that you had starts multiplying. The multiplication process, it gives you room, gives you the verdict that is now saving for investment. You're not just saving for, you're now saving to make sure that you invest in your saving, but you're investing your saving. So when you're having that money and you're putting it into something, the more it is growing, the more you are growing as a person. So it gives you morale to continue putting that money there. It is just like as if you're buying you're buying shares in a company. With time, you can even become the biggest shareholder, or at the end of it all, buy or sell off those shares, sell off those bonds, and get more money. Because at the time, if you bought the bond cheaply and it grows up with time and gets more value, you can sell it off, make more money out of it. So that is the essence of making sure that you save money for investment. And saving money for investment, like I said, is simply putting your money somewhere where it is going to remain productive. If you save money and it's non-productive, then at the end of it all, you've not saved. You're only saving because you want to accomplish something. Now, once that something is done, won't you have other things? Are you going to continue saving for one thing? Just save and invest the saving. So every time you need help, every time you need something that you need to work on, you get the money, something else abruptly comes in, you need that same money. So saving for investment is giving you a wide reach of options for you as a person. Seeing your capital grow, seeing your savings grow is the importance of that. Well, and this is where most of the students are getting more equipped, skilled up by the practitioners here from the Capital Markets Authority, to see that they understand the job market, to see that they ably get to know of what is available in the world of business in Uganda, literally. And we are seeing the growth of capital markets in Uganda with the fact that now we have a number of companies that are listed on the Uganda Stock Exchange, and others actually also listed on the Nairobi Stock Exchange. So clearly this shows you that the growth of the capital markets in Uganda brightens the future for Uganda's stock markets out there. So that shows you why you need to have more of the skills and why you need to have relevant information regarding this same matter. Well, that's it for our very fast from the business reports in today's show. We go into a break, but when I do return, I have Smb Across Borders. The Smb Across Borders are literally international stories that are making headlines from the world of business, what you might have missed, something that you really need to know from Kenya, Tanzania, the Western world, Europe, and the entire African continent is what I do have in store for you. Stick around and I'll be right back.
Smart 24, driving business.
This is Jordan. When it comes to classwork, Jordan is magic. Jordan shines. Jordan makes his peers better. Jordan is a true leader. White Star Magic family. Be a leader. Be magic.
God. Zizinga, wait.
Yeah?
Ka selfie.
Wow. Do you have the MyGo TV app? Oh, do you use star 206 hash? Labono. But life techina kunyumira. With the MyGo TV app over star 206 hash, you can make payments, you can change package, you can fix errors, you can check your balance anytime, anywhere.
Download the MyGo TV app from Google Play Store or the App Store or dial star 206 hash.
Ha! My phone!
Go TV Uganda. Love it.
Sasulira akasimu k'ekirooto kyo mpola mpola. Funa essimu y'ekirooto kyo leero ng'osasula mpola mpola okutandikira ku nnusu 14 n'ofuna data ow'obwereere okumala omwaka. Essimu zonna kugirako MB za 5 buli lunaku okumala emyezi 12. Osasulira omwaka gumu. Ziri mu maduuka ga MTN n'aga M-Kopa.
We go through life hustling, doing different jobs to make ends meet. No matter how strong you are, age will eventually catch up with you. Your hope of a comfortable retirement is saving for old age while you still have energy to work. Uganda Retirement Authority, the regulator of all licensed retirement benefit schemes, UBRA, encourages you to choose from any of the licensed schemes and start saving, whether employed or self-employed, to avoid regret during your old age. For more information, call 0417-304-500. This message is brought to you by Uganda Retirement Benefits Regulatory Authority.
Every new day brings new opportunities for you to conquer the business world.
Start your day with the show that drives your business.
Be the first to know the latest prices around town, the latest business information around the country and the world.
We bring you in-depth analysis with exclusive interviews from your key players.
And of course, wouldn't you want that for your morning? Get up to speed with what is trending in the business world, all in one morning show. Smart Means Business with your favorite guy, Joram Post Sonko
and Rita Cavaniero.
Every weekdays, Mondays to Friday from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
as we drive you into the business world. This is Smart 24.
Smart 24, driving business.
Well, welcome back from the break, let's get into the Smb Across Borders. Across borders, we take a flight to countries that are away from Uganda, but speaking business as a matter of fact, because we are driving business here. And in that same regard, we kickstart it off with what is coming in from Kenya, as the Central Bank of Kenya has ordered banks to ration scarce dollars in the country and in the economy. Kenya is actually still in the Uhuru governance for the last few months till August, when the country will be electing a new president. Will it be William Ruto or will it be Mzee Raila Odinga? Well, let's head to the business part of it here, as the Central Bank of Kenya has directed commercial banks to ration dollars following a shortage of the United States currency, and the rest to protect the reserves. And this hitting manufacturers and general goods importers in the country. And when you look at a number of currency traders and importers, say banks have imposed a daily cap on dollar purchase as firms struggle to obtain adequate forex to meet their obligations. And still with Kenya, this has forced industrialists to start seeking dollars in advance, as the shortage puts a strain on supplier relations and the ability to negotiate favorable prices in spot markets. So let's the shortage is the product of increased dollar demand, which was being driven by increased shipments of raw materials and equipment in the wake of the recovering economy, plus the local companies disbursing dividends to foreign investors. As a top CEO of an industrial conglomerate in 3 high capital intensive industries, which include cement manufacturing, says that his business is restricted to a daily cap of $50,000. That is about 5.78 million Kenyan shillings. Away from that same situation, the Central Bank of Kenya has also been keen to avoid huge panic buys of US dollars and protect reserves amid the global outlook that has worsened in recent months following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Now, there is also surging prices of oil and other commodities, as well as the lingering concerns over the resurgence of COVID-19. Multiple bankers admitted the caps on dollar purchases, but declined to come on record, fearing reprisals from the Central Bank of Kenya. CAM said the lack of access to adequate hard currency was negatively affecting their ability to settle obligations to overseas suppliers in a timely manner. The industrialist lobby said did reveal that the crunch has strained relations with suppliers at a time when competition for raw materials has intensified globally due to rising demand amid lingering supply chain constraints. It as well reckons the shortage is now causing an increase in the cost of doing business and causing panic of buying of the forex. Data kept by the Kenya Central Bank, or the Central Bank of Kenya, for example, shows that materials ordered by importers last year amounted to 399.62 billion Kenyan shillings, only draft by machinery and transportation equipment, which was valued at 512.45 billion Kenyan shillings. Big things coming in there from the Uhuru administration. And when you look at the situation here, the Central Bank ordering the banks to rationalize the scarce dollars onto the market. This is intended to protect the reserves, the bank reserves, and it is actually going to, it's highly expected to hit the manufacturers and the importers of a number of commodities in Kenya. Well, and also Kenya is still facing a number of big challenges, by the way, when you take a look at what is coming in from the world of the fuel situations. There was a time whereby motorists were actually moving into Busia, that is at the border between Kenya and Uganda, to get cheaper fuel. But now also Uganda's fuel prices have actually increased and are actually higher than before, where you can actually see a premium or petrol is now selling at 5,500. Then diesel is 5,100 to 5,200. Now that depends on the type of, or on the brand of the fuel station that you're using, and it as well depends on where the fuel station is situated. Is it in town, or is it in a residential area, or is it up country? big changes in there in terms of price changes and also differences to do with the location of the fuel station. Let's talk technology into our next one. As we speak, Nissan, the car brand that has apparently stopped producing the Datsun type of car. Now, Nissan signals the end of the road for Datsun cars, as the car maker Nissan is to stop producing vehicles under the Datsun name, which has a more than century-long history. It was one of the brands that helped Japanese car makers become established globally after the Second World War. Despite selling millions of cars around the world, the Datsun name was phased out in the 1980s. The company revived the brand 3 decades later, describing the new range of vehicles as an important part of Nissan's DNA. On Monday, Nissan spokesperson Azusa Momose revealed that the firm will continue to sell its stock of Datsun cars and provide after-sale services to their owners, but they will not be producing anymore. Before the Datsun brand name came into being, a car named DAT was built in 1914 by Kaishinsha Motor Car Works in Tokyo. Tokyo is in Japan. The word DAT or DAT was an acronym of the family names of 3 early investors in the business. The D was representing Den, A was representing Ayoma, and Tekouchi. Yes, Tekouchi, that clearly shows you that is Japanese. It also literally means lightning fast in Japan. That is DAT or DAT, which was later on rebranded to Datsun. At the same time, it was promoted as durable, moving forward, attractive. Then the trustworthy was put into it, or DAT for short. So the other situation was from the Den, Ayoma and Tekouchi, the same DAT was referred to in English as durable, attractive and trustworthy before it was actually turned into Datsun. In 1933 rather, Nissan's founder Yoshisuke Aikawa took over the business of Nissan, and the early 1930s also saw the company launch an economic and lightweight car named Datsun, or the son of Dat. The name was subsequently changed to Datsun, and Datsun was one of the brands that helped Japanese car makers establish themselves in Europe, the United States and Asia after the World War II, before it actually also hit the African markets. It was one of the main brands Nissan marketed globally, as besides the mainstream Nissan and the luxury Infiniti. In the 1970s, the fuel-efficient Datsun was marketed as the choice of the everyday motorists looking for an alternative to unreliable gas guzzlers. Around 20 million Datsun cars were sold in 190 countries across the world. However, the name was phased out from 1981, with Nissan becoming the company's primary brand globally. In 2012, Nissan announced the return of the Datsun brand and sold cars under the name in countries including India and Indonesia. At the time, like many rival car manufacturers, Nissan first weak markets in Europe and the United States and was targeting emerging economies with lower price models. Despite this, sales of the models have slumped in recent years. Nissan said on Monday that it will now focus on core models and segments that will bring the most benefit to customers, dealer partners and the business as part of a global transformation strategy. So that is it for the people out there who are still asking, so if the car is ruled out of the market, well, the thing is they still have stock of Datsun cars and they are still selling. For the importers who are still importing, they can still import. However, there are no more production which is going to be done for the Datsun cars. So everyone out there who is actually seeking or asking themselves whether you will actually be, according to Nissan, after sales services will be provided regardless of how long the Datsun will no longer be produced, but hey, it will still be there. So that is it from the part of technology. As let's head to Europe now, as to try to see what is happening as the stock markets in Europe are tumbling over China's lockdown fears. That is what's up in Europe. Then the stock markets across Europe have fallen after sharp declines in Asia on fears of COVID restrictions in China could hit supply chains and the global economy. Authorities in Beijing have implemented mass testing in one area of the city, which follows a small outbreak of cases, but there are big concerns that the capital could follow Shanghai by enforcing a lockdown to contain the spread of COVID-19. Now, these reports regarding London's leading securities exchange, where a 100-share index tumbled, led by commodities firms such as oil producers and miners. The stock exchange market dropped by 2.2%, and stock markets in Germany and France also fell following a decline of more than 5% on China's Shanghai Composite Index earlier on. Hong Kong's Hang Seng closed 3.7% lower, while Japanese Nikkei index fell by nearly 2%. Then there's something to do with oil prices also falling on Monday, with Brent crude down to 4.7% at $101.41 a barrel on the prospect of falling demand from China, which is the world's second largest economy after the United States. Oil giants such as BP and Shell saw their share prices fall on Monday. Then shares in mining giants such as Anglo American, Glencore and Rio Tinto were also among the biggest losers in early trading. Let's head to Beijing. Beijing, which has a population of more than 21 million people, has reported a handful of new cases, but China has a strict zero COVID policy in place. And over the weekend, some Beijing residents were told they needed to do COVID tests through 3 times a week. Yes, that is according to what is coming in. Then Pang Zizhao, the deputy director of the Beijing Center for Disease Prevention and Control, revealed that the number of cases in Beijing is expected to increase in the following days. In Shanghai, there was a fresh outbreak a few weeks ago, and much of the city is on lockdown, and various areas are facing restrictions. That is in the city of Shanghai. The latest outbreak in Shanghai, however, was first detected in late March, and has seen more than 400,000 cases recorded so far and 138 deaths. That is in Shanghai. Then some factories in Shanghai have restarted production, with companies such as electric car maker Tesla reportedly requiring employees to work on a closed loop system, which means they eat and sleep at the plant or at the manufacturing plant. Analysts say stock markets in Europe and Asia were also affected by sharp falls on leading US indices at the end of the last week, amid expectations of steep United States interest rates rising to calm soaring inflation, currently at a 40-year high of 8.5%. So the pinch is not literally about the Ukraine-Russia war, but this time around also taking us back to the COVID crisis and China being a victim to this particular one. And now the stock markets in Europe are tumbling greatly. Let's get back to Africa. Ethiopia, to be precise. Then KenGen has completed the drilling of 7 geothermal wells in Ethiopia. Ethiopia and the Horn of Africa, north of Kenya, north of the East African Community, or northeast of Uganda, I would say. Now, the electricity producer, KenGen, has completed the drilling of 7 geothermal wells in Ethiopia, 4 at the Aluto Lagano site and 3 at Tule Moi. That is what is regarding there. In February 2019, KenGen, in a consortium with Shadong Kerui Petroleum Equipment Company and Shadong Kerui Oilfield Service Group, won a joint contract of over 7.6 billion shillings